Hey guys, it's Rachel with Be Healed Dog Training. As a lot of you know, I use prong collars with all of my training, and I recommend the Herm Sprenger brand prong collar, and I'll put that in the description of this video. I'm really big on that collar as a brand because it's just a really nice collar. I have other videos talking about it a little more, but what the purpose of this video today is about spotting a fake. Because I buy my Herm Sprengers online off of Amazon. I can usually find really good prices for them, and I've ordered from Amazon several times before and always gotten a true Herm Sprenger collar until last night. I got home from being out of town and opened up all my packages that had come when I was gone, and found that my 3mm Herm Sprengers that I bought were all fakes. They were clearly fakes, but I want to use this as an opportunity to show you the difference between collars, because I recognize them for being fakes only because I've used the real ones so many times. Somebody who may be buying a Herm Sprenger collar for the first time would probably not know the difference, and here's why. So let me show you a real one first. Actually, that's a small one. Let me use a bigger one. So this is a real Herm Sprenger 3mm prong collar, and this is the fake one. It would be very hard to tell the difference, and the length doesn't have anything to do with this, just because I've taken links out of this to make it smaller, so that has nothing to do with it size-wise. But you can see the links themselves are the same size. Each link is the same size. They look incredibly similar. A real Herm Sprenger, it might be hard to see in detail, but right here it says Sprenger, and then underneath that is an HS, and in very small letters beneath that says Germany, because Herm Sprenger collars are made in Germany. The fake collar that I got is marked right here with the HS. It says Herm Sprenger, spelled the exact same way, and it says Germany. So incredibly misleading for somebody who has ordered these. And also the link that I chose from, the pictured collar was a real Herm Sprenger. This is not what was pictured. So I want to put this out there because I don't want somebody to get ripped off with a crappy collar, because this is a very crappy collar. The price, it was similar to what I've paid before, so it wasn't like, you know, a cheap, too good to be true price. It was about the same price as what I've found them for on Amazon before. So I'm going to show you first. Hopefully you'll be able to see this in detail. So one of the big things that I like about Herm Sprenger collars are the fact that the prongs themselves are rounded. The edges here are rounded and very smooth. And that's, of course, important so that you're not possibly causing harm to the dog. Now, a lot of people see prong collars and they think they're evil and barbaric just because of the way they look. I have other videos that talk about the fact that prong collars are meant to be very, very gentle collars. They look kind of awful, I get that, but the design is actually made this way so that you don't harm your dog. I have other videos on that, so I'm not going to get into that today. If you're familiar with prong collars and with my work, you've already known that. And if not, you can find other videos on my YouTube channel. But one of the things that makes the Herm Sprenger such a safe collar is the fact that these edges are rounded. And if you just buy a cheap collar somewhere else, you can find these edges to be kind of jagged and sharp. And that is the case with this. I don't know how well you can see in the video, but these are very squared off edges. And they are sharp to the touch. That's one of the first things I checked, because when I saw this collar and pulled it out, as soon as I touched it, it felt wrong. And you can probably see, look how kinked it is. It's not very fluid. It gets stuck. It gets kinked. You know, if I'm trying to maneuver this around or flip it back the way it's supposed to be, it's just very, it's not very smooth at all. And some of this is hard to see in a video versus if you could touch and feel the difference. I had my husband, he's not familiar with these collars, except that he knows what I train with and the brand, but he hasn't really hands-on used the different kinds a whole lot. And I could hand him the fake one and the real one, and he immediately felt the difference. This is very smooth. You can see it's not getting all kinked up. It's very fluid. That's how you want it to be. This is obviously very cheap metal. It's lighter weight. I mean, this is a piece of shit, guys. Pardon my French, but it is. This is a piece of crap collar, and it would really upset me to think that somebody ordered what they thought was a Herm Sprenger and had no idea, because this says Herm Sprenger. This looks like a Herm Sprenger to someone who doesn't know or hasn't used one, and I'd hate for them to be using a crappy collar and not even know what they're missing out on. Another thing I noticed with this one in particular is that the prongs are very difficult to work with. With these collars, you're supposed to pinch the prongs to take them on and off and to take links out and to put the collar on and off. This was incredibly hard. I'm not even going to do it on camera. It's kind of embarrassing. It's very hard to get these links on and off. And other cheap fake collars that I've seen before, there's the opposite problem where it's really easy to get the links on and off. So easy that when you use them with your dog, they pop off the dog constantly. So those are two big things also to be real careful of if you don't have a good quality prong collar. So this is the real one again. These links are made to be pinched and removed and pinched and put back into place. Okay, not that hard. But I mean okay, so I'll do it. It's very difficult. I feel like I'm doing one of those infomercials where I make it really hard looking, but I mean, I'm struggling. I almost don't have the strength in my hand to get that apart, and I struggle very much to put it back together, and I don't know if I'm even going to be able to do that here. Again, piece of crap collar. Terrible, terrible collar. I will interject here to say Amazon is making this right. I've already talked to them. I'm already returning these. They're sending me the correct collars with expedited shipping, and they've waived the cost. So Amazon is making this right, but shame on the company who produced these and sent them to Amazon, because these, whatever, deal with that later. Let's see. So another way that you can tell, Herm Sprengers have this plate in the middle here, and you see that the links go both directions. So some of the links are pointing this way, and some of them are pointing this way, and that center plate helps with that. And it helps the collar to sit better. It helps the collar to fit better on the dog. This collar, that was one of the first things I noticed when I opened the collar to take it out of the bag. See, all right, hold on a second. There we go. This collar has no center plate. Now, you might find an older Herm Sprenger that doesn't have one. You can find them that doesn't have the center plate, but typically they've got center plates. You can see with this one, all the prongs point the same direction. And gosh, you can even see with me holding that out that they're not all lined up just right. They don't sit right. But that's another tell. If it doesn't have the center plate, be wary. Check your product. Make sure it's the right product. So the center plate, the jagged edges, the just like kinky, awful metal. And here's the kicker. Here's the obvious thing. These collars are made in Germany. They're known for being made in Germany. And this one says Germany on it. It doesn't say made in Germany. It just says Germany. But to be fair, a Real Herm Sprenger on it says Germany. It doesn't say made in Germany. But the bag that these collars came in, right there, if you can read that, made in China. Made in China. So, it took me all of 30 seconds to know for a fact that I had the wrong collar. But I want to go over this stuff so that if you've ordered a Herm Sprenger, or if you're going to, make sure you've got the right thing. Make sure you have an actual Herm Sprenger collar. It does make a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. I would not even put this on my dog, let alone train with this. And it just makes me so mad to think that some people may have ordered the wrong collar, gotten the wrong thing, and just not even known it. Because if you have not used a real one, you'd never know the difference. It says Herm Sprenger. It's marked the same way. Another thing, too, this just came in a plastic bag, like this, with this little bag that it came in. Here's what I got. My other Herm Sprengers that came, the smaller size, were correct. They're true Herm Sprenger collars. These are 2.25 millimeter, but you see the center plate. It came with these tags. So that's another thing you can look for is the Herm Sprenger collars come with these tags on it. They've got some instructions there. It's the gray and blue tag here. I might have seen these in different colored tags as well, but be aware when you've ordered a product, make sure you're checking it, make sure you've got the right thing, and if you don't have the right thing, then make sure you get the right thing. Contact wherever you got the collar from. Don't settle for it. It's not worth it. Don't settle for a cheap, crappy imitation collar. So just like I said, wanted to put that together. Hopefully this helps somebody. If you know someone who's going to be ordering a collar or looking for one, just make sure they're getting it from a good source. And I've never had problems on Amazon before, and now I know not to use this particular seller. Won't be using that again. But anyway, hope this helps somebody with ordering their collars. And I'm going to go take this to the post office now and send this crap back. I mean, it would probably do better for me to just throw it in the woods, but hey, might as well get my refund. So anyway, y'all have a good day, good morning. Buy a Real Herm Sprenger collar.